And I'm Ryan.
And welcome to another episode of Andy and Ryan Under the Influence. Today, we cover our top 5 foodie experiences in Taipei, Taiwan. You can't go to Taiwan without trying the original and famous chain of stores Din Tai Fung, and we wanted to make sure that we gave that experience a try. Now, the one thing we did learn is that the original Din Tai Fung, which is known as the Xinyi branch, is now a takeaway store only. So if you like to eat in, there is a new store across the road, which if you search on Google Maps, is called the Xinsheng branch, where you take a number and you line up.
Now, there's always a queue here because it's so famous, and the day we went, it was so incredibly hot. I remember that. But inside, the aircon is on, and it's very comfortable.
You also get a up-close and personal experience having an opportunity to watch the experts at work folding your beautiful xiaolongbao. And we've certainly found that the xiaolongbaos themselves did not let us down. It was amazingly juicy, succulent, as you can expect.
We also tried the pork cutlet, which was beautiful, and a series of other dim sum. But really, for me, the reason you go to Din Tai Fung is for the xiaolongbao, and that was really the standout.
Number 4 on our must-try foodie experiences in Taiwan is Yongkang Street. It is a very popular tourist street, but we must call out the Tian Onion Pancake House. It's a tiny little store on the corner, handmade, crispy, crunchy onion scallion pancakes that are an absolute must-try if you come to Taiwan.
Yeah, they were delicious and really authentic, kind of like street food. And for dessert, we popped over across the road to the generically named Smoothie House, which have what they call snowflake ices. Now, these are like shaved ice desserts that you might get in Hawaii or something like that. I think we had the super snowflake mango or something like that, and it was huge. So
huge.
I think 1 between 2 is totally fine.
I remember the ice being so finely shaved that when you put it in your mouth, it's like melt in your mouth sorbet. So that's an interesting experience worth trying.
The thing with the Smoothie House, though, is it's very hard to get a seat. So if you're walking past and you see a spare spot, snag it while you can. For a change of pace, we recommend taking the Maokong gondola up into the mountains, which is really the countryside of Taipei and really not that far away. The gondola ride, I remember, was a little bit hairy. The wind picked up a little bit and it is very high. But given that, the views are spectacular.
Absolutely spectacular. And another thing to note is Maokong is the tea growing region in Taipei. And so it's worthwhile going up there to try different teas. And to facilitate that, they have a series of beautiful tea houses. Highly recommend that you pick anyone really, and they tend to have really home style cooking and beautiful teas for you to try while overlooking the valley and their beautiful views.
We tried one called the Redwood, and I was really pleased because we could get General Tso's chicken there, which is something which is quite famous for Taipei. But also they had a series of what I would call tea ales, which were beers flavoured with teas. And that was a really interesting blend of 2 different beverages, and it really went together.
Worth noting, the food available at Redwood was really beautiful home-style cooking as well. Light, very luscious. They had great customer service. And more importantly, air conditioning because it was really hot on the day that we went up there as well. My second favorite foodie location in Taipei is the Cheng roast goose. Now, for those of you who love roast duck, wait till you try roast goose, which is a fattier, more gamey version, really, of the much-loved roast duck type of dish. And one of the most famous places is Cheng. The original store is now a takeaway joint, which is on Jiling Road in the Zhongshan district. So for those of you who are trying to find the eat-in restaurant, it's actually a second and newer store across the road where you now take a number and line up.
And I remember when we were lining up, it took forever. We were there for dinner, and I think it was like over an hour of waiting time. So when you go, you might want to try and beat the rush and have like an early dinner or something like that, or just be patient. It is worth it.
And you will be given a little slip of paper to fill in your order items before you go in. And so when they call your number, you will have that ready to go and the dishes come quick to your table. And there's a variety of different things. I highly recommend the roast goose, of course, that comes with a sliced ginger condiment. And they also have lots of other really interesting tidbits as well that you should try. And my number one top foodie experience when we were in Taiwan was under the influence of Zermatt Neo, who is a competitive eater from Singapore. And he has done a great series in Taiwan, going through lots of very famous places to eat. And we found this place because of him. And it's called Liu Shandong Beef Noodles. It's a tiny little joint, hole in the wall, down an alleyway. And I have to say, it's one of the most authentic beef noodle experiences I've ever had in Taiwan.
It was my favourite too. It was like eating with the locals, and I could see why. We had the braised beef noodles. There's two types. There's the pure braised and just the braised.
Pure braised is almost like a clear soup, and you can really taste the sweetness and flavour of the beef in there. And the braised has more sort of soy-based elements to it, and so that is a little bit richer and has more of a soy forward kind of flavor to it. But either which way, it's cash only. You got to get in there with the locals, line up. There is a little menu that they hand to you with some pictures on it, but other than that, be prepared to gesticulate if you don't speak Mandarin, because it is where the locals go, but it is worth the try.
We hope you enjoyed our tips and tricks. And if you want to see more videos like these, make sure you like and press subscribe.